Ay, ay, ay.
Vanessa, get off my back. Vanessa, get off my back.
Men, warriors, kings, let's come together. We need to have a conversation expeditiously, quickly, in response to this growing trend of men settling down with women of the night. I was talking to this individual. I was like, hey, when I was in Pattaya, I was sitting down at this club right outside of 808, a popular hip hop club in Pattaya. And I witnessed, I was watching people go in sightseeing or whatever the case may be, and I seen this woman that I know that was selling, that I know has a history of selling. When I met her, she was selling, and I seen her hand in hand with this woman, with this man going up the stairs to 808, and I just looked. She looked at me, I looked at her, and I just did one of these moves. This isn't my first time seeing such a disappointment, disgrace, disrespect to men all over the world. Because when a woman is selling and a man decides to wife her, he is not only disrespecting himself, but he is disrespecting fellow passport bros, fellow men, fellow travelers. And I wanted to take some time to discuss that. Why are men wifing women of the night? I'm just going to use women of the night, right? Just to keep it YouTube safe, right? Women of the night. And I've said this and I'll continue to say this again, maybe a year or two ago. I was talking to this Dominican woman and right, she was like, hey, was so-and-so working when you met her? I was like, no. She was like, what do you think she was doing for a living? And I paused and I'm like, I don't know. So I want to give some of you men some signs that she's likely a woman of the night. Sign number one, right? Sign number one in no particular order. If you met her in the club on vacation at 3 o'clock in the morning on a Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday, that's a sign. I'm going to repeat that again. I'm going to add a day. If you met her in the club on your vacation on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday at 2 o'clock in the morning, that's a sign. If I meet a woman in the club at 2 o'clock in the morning and she goes back to my place or we go out to eat or whatever the case may be, go out and have some more drinks, and we're out till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning and I'm there on vacation and I have plenty of time, but she lives there. And if she's out to 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, that's a sign. That's a sign. That's a sign that the woman you are dealing with is a woman of the night. And maybe she just coincidentally has the next day off. Maybe she's just coincidentally on vacation. Coincidentally. Maybe, or maybe not. So you need to be aware of not only where you're meeting these women, but what day of the week it is, what time it is, and take all of these things into consideration before you consider something romantic, something casual, something long-term, a relationship, a marriage, a long-term relationship. You need to consider this. So that is number one, in no particular order. Number two, right? Number two. This is important because everyone knows I'm going to Brazil in 2 months. And I'm on Tinder early, right? I'm on Tinder early, and I'm going to do a video on how to how and when to get on Tinder or Bumble or whatever app you want to use to start having friends for when you get there, having dates for when you get there, having people to talk to, people to hang out with for when you get there. But that's going to be in another video. But I matched with this woman on Tinder, right? In Rio, beautiful woman, right? And she's calling me video like all the time. I'm like, man, I just met you 2 days ago. And she's calling me video and messaging me. And I love that energy, honestly. It was a little quick, but I love that energy. Like, I love a woman that knows what she wants. I love a woman that puts in a little bit of effort, right? I don't believe that a man should put in 100% effort to chase a woman and she puts in zero and you don't know if she's into you or not. And you just running behind her looking like Boo Boo the Fool. But I loved her energy. Loved her energy. I'm talking about like second day we talking to the video call, third day talking video call. And I don't think it was 72 hours. And she started telling me stories. Oh man, I'm going through this. I'm going through that. I need to go have surgery for this. My family's this. This is this living situation. She started giving me the woe me stories. And I'm listening. Like in my earlier days, right? In my earlier childish, naive, stupid days, depending on how much I liked her, I might have said, I'm gonna send you some money. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest. In my earlier, younger days, when I was thinking with this and not this, and I was naive and I was stupid, didn't have a lot of common sense, I might have said, let me send you some money. Just being honest. So she started telling me the stories of things that's going wrong, things she needed, everything that's indirectly saying that I need money. And I'm like, okay, all right, cool. I wish you the best. I'll keep you in my prayers. Things will get better. I'm giving her motivational speeches, right? Nothing insinuating that I'm going to send her money. Then it got a little bit more direct, and she was like, I need money for this. And she said something that took me off guard. She said, I cannot have ground and pound. I cannot have ground and pound with a man that's not taking care of me. And she didn't say ground and pound, obviously, but she said, I'm going to repeat that again, let y'all soak it up. I cannot have ground and pound with a man that's not taking care of me. And I don't know what direct is, but that was pretty direct. But unfortunately, she met me. And I said to her in the nicest way, it is easier for me to pay for some than for me to send you money every month. I want to repeat that again. And I might show the WhatsApp one day on my Rio series when I get to Rio or after Rio. I told her, I said, it is easier for me to pay for some than to send you money every month. And a lot of women have that confused. They think, hey, a man should provide, which is, as I've said 100 times and I'll say 100 more times, I've done it, I've paid rent, I've done all of that. I have. But you gotta be her. You gotta be different. And my last one was a bum, and she put juju on me, and I don't know what went on, but I provided for her more than any other man will. But I digress. A lot of women want men to provide financially. But in all reality, it is cheaper for a man to pay for something. Instead of me spending $600, $700, $800 a month on your rent and your hair and your nails and every little thing that you make up in your mind to ask me to buy for you, it is cheaper for me to pay for something. And after I told her that it is cheaper for me to pay for some than to pay for your rent and all of these things that you think a man should be doing, right? And she told me in earlier text messages, my ex-American guy, And I'm going to show these messages one day. My ex-boyfriend, he's American. He used to pay my rent. What that got to do with me? What that got to do with me? And once I told her that, hey, it's easier for me to pay for some than to take care of you, she blocked me. And they say the truth hurts. And I hope she's hurting right now. And a lot of women got TikTok and Instagram videos and stories from social media influencers and these dating experts and all of these people with a lot of followers that they probably bought. And they're thinking, oh man, every man I meet should take care of me. Why you? When it is easier for a man to buy a woman of the night and never see her again, never exchange phone numbers, she doesn't know his real name, than to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars a month taking care of a woman. So the number 2 sign that she's a woman of the night is she is asking indirectly or directly for money early on. And let's be honest, in the first 3 days of someone knowing me, they don't know my real name. They don't know my real age. They don't know what I do for a living. And I'm going to be honest with you. That last psycho I was talking to that hit me, Vanessa, I gave her like 2 or 3 names. Like she didn't know my real name. She didn't know my real age. She didn't know what I did for a living. And I'm going to do a video on not telling women what you do for a living, because you're going to need to hear this. Same thing for African Queen. She didn't know my real name. She didn't know what I did for a living. And I told the story of African Queen found out my real name because, she was living with me on and off. When she was mad, she moved out. When she was happy, she moved back in. But long story short, I was at work and she was cleaning. And she came across my mail and she did what any woman would do. She looked at it. She read it and she said, oh, your name's not Chris Keeps Flying. Your name is this. Why didn't you tell me? And I'm like, oh, I didn't tell you. Oh, I forgot. I'm sorry. But for women's asking for money early on, that is a sign. Sign number 2. Sign number 1, if she's out at night, late at night on a weekday, sign number 1. Sign number 2, if she's asking for money, if you're asking me for money in the first 24, 48, 72 hours, you're probably selling. Sign number 3, in no particular order, of course. In no particular order, of course. This is going to be good. You got to watch out. I've realized that some, and not all, I've realized that some women that are selling live with other women in the house that are selling. And I'm going to repeat that again. I've witnessed this in more than one country, right? Bahrain, Thailand, in various countries. I've realized that a lot of women that are selling, because the selling market, it fluctuates like the stock market. You can make a lot of money one month and a little money the next month. I've realized that a lot of women that are selling have roommates, right? It is easy on the rent, right? One can cover 1 month. If the other one's short, the other one can cover the other month if she's short. A lot of women that are selling have roommates. So take that into consideration. Topic number 4, sign number 4 that you need to pay attention to. Are you paying attention? Be observant of her social media, right? Be observant of her social media. This is one individual, and I might do a series on her one day. She's actually in Santo Domingo, right? And she worked at a strip club. And I'm going to be honest with you. Every strip club that I've been to in my life outside of America, and I used to go to strip clubs a lot. Every strip club that I go to, that I've been to outside of America, you could pay for something for the right price. I'm just being honest. If she works at a strip club or go-go, and this is a young lady I follow on Instagram, I think she's cute, but she works at a go-go in Thailand. And I know for the right price, she's gonna go. So pay attention to women that work at these places, go-go's, bars, various establishments, because she's selling. But number one important one, I said in no particular, but this is the most important one. Some of y'all men don't care. Some of y'all men are out here, you see these men bagging women and they kissing them and wifing them and holding hands. Some of y'all just don't care. You know, I was talking to this young lady, right? Actually, when I was going to Thailand last, I was talking to these two individuals, right? And one, you know, I know from we was in Bahrain together. And she was like, I'm going to Japan, right? I'm going to Japan. Listen, if a Thai woman tells you she's going to Japan, she's going to Bahrain, just know. Her work didn't send her there. Her business didn't send her there. That's not a company provided trip. The company she works for didn't buy a ticket. Listen, just know. Just know. I was talking to this other individual, right? She's in Dubai. She's in Dubai. And we were supposed to meet because I went, as if, I don't know, most people know, I went to Phuket first and then I went to Pattaya. And then I ended off in Bangkok, right? So I was in Phuket talking to her and she was like, hey, I'll be in Pattaya this day. Right now I messaged her, she was like, oh no, I'm gonna stay in Dubai a little bit longer. What you doing in Dubai? Listen, a woman's travels is gonna tell you everything you need to know. And I'm talking about mostly foreign women, because I know American women like to travel, you know, some European women like to travel, but probably outside of that, a woman's travel is going to tell you everything you need to know. And I suggest stalking, maybe stalking is not the great word. I suggest going through their social media, going through their Instagram. Any woman that I'm interested in, I'm going through their Instagram until I see their last picture in 1962. That's just me. That's just me because her Instagram pictures, her posts, her reels, her stories are going to tell you everything you need to know about that woman, right? And if she's from certain countries and she's doing traveling, and it's going to tell you everything you need to know. And let's be honest, Dubai is not the cheapest country for certain nationalities, right? You Google, get on ChatGPT and look at the average monthly rate for women in Thailand or men in Thailand or Thais in general. It's not that much. So to go to Dubai for a week, 2 weeks, either one, someone took them, which is nothing wrong with it. I've taken women to a lot of countries. Or two, they're selling. Or combined, one and two, they were selling and some man decided to take them to Dubai and some of these other countries. So women that are going to certain countries, and I'm not trying to be racist or anything, but women that are going to certain countries from certain countries, you need to take that into consideration. And I said a lot of men don't care, right? A lot of men don't care, right? I was in Korea, right? I was in Korea, and there's a lot of working girls there, and there were men that met these working girls, these juicy girls, these bar girls, and tried to buy them, right? Buy their passport, pay how much ever the woman allegedly inflated owed to the business, and save these women. I seen that at 18, 19 years old. Men meeting women, right? Probably their first or second girlfriend in their life. They meet this cute, or what they consider cute Korean woman, right? They treat them right. They send all the nice things to them. And she's stuck in this contract with this company to pay back money, allegedly, right? And these men were paying that money to get her passport back, to give her freedom, so they can go off and get married. So I've seen this at 18, 19 years old of men wifing women of the night. But it's most definitely not something that I suggest. I'm going to tell y'all a story. I don't think I've said this story. If I did, whatever. But I'm going to tell this story. And I think it was funny. I was just thinking about it in the shower a few minutes ago. I was with this woman in Thailand, right? You know, like I said, I've known her at least 5 years, right? I've known her for a while. You know, if I've known you for several years and I touch down in your country, I'm gonna hit you up. Let's do the dinner. Let's go hang out. Let's go do something, right? I got someone in the DR I've known for probably a decade. I got people in Thailand I've known for years and years and years, just because I've been there a gazillion times. There's people in certain countries that if I touch down there, I'm gonna hit them up. So I was with this woman, right, in Thailand, right? You know, we did what we did because she does what she does. She had something for sale, and I purchased what she had for sale, right? And after the fact, she said, "How come you didn't eat me?" After the fact, she said, "How come you didn't eat me?" What? Listen, listen. I in August 2025 am not going down on a woman that sells her body. I'm just being honest. That's not happening. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. And that was probably the funniest thing I've heard a woman say all this year. Is how come you didn't eat me after I just paid you for a service? Hmm. Listen, I know some guys out there doing it. Hey, whatever floats your boat. But listen, I highly suggest, as I'm coming to the end of this video, I highly suggest y'all be aware of her social media. Out of all the things that I mentioned, in no particular order, I need you to put like going through her social media is like 1 or 2. If she's from certain countries and she's in Japan, she's in Dubai, she's in some of these countries that are known for women of the night, paying for ground and pound, you need to take heed to that. But good luck to all. Hope everyone finds their wife